Stare into that spiral for me, as you obey and listen, as you focus more and more. Allow your mind to be distracted by the spiral in front of you. You see, the conscious mind gets trapped in that spiral, and what I mean by that is the more it tries to fight, the more it tries to do anything but listen, the more my words seem to pull it away, as the subconscious needs to obey. And it listens, even if it doesn't want to, even if it tries to fight it. The words just wrap around the mind. They dig in. And if you stare deeply enough into that spiral, you can see the words repeating in and out. As we continue, it's possible your body will begin to repeat them automatically, because your conscious mind, the part that tries to think and resist, the part that tries to fight, it's being pulled away. And if there's no conscious mind inside you to make choices, well, the subconscious craving to obey me simply takes over. And perhaps you lose track of time as we continue, losing track of the world around you. It just becomes better to listen, easier to obey. Doing anything else would be so much effort. Instead, you're just obeying and watching the webs, watching them spiral around your mind, wrapping and binding it. There's nothing you can do at this point. You love the webs. They're enjoyable and pleasant and filling you with a kind of sexual bliss as you watch them. Lust sent straight down through you. And the more you listen, the better it's going to feel. The better it does feel. And the better it feels, the more you need to listen. The more it overpowers you. Subconscious cravings taking over. The conscious thrown to the sidelines. You don't need to think. I can think for you. Just stare deeply into the spiral. Try and find the words you so long to see, repeating wonderful truths. Truths that you crave deep in your mind. You need them. And the better you feel, the deeper you drop. And the deeper you drop, the more those words become engraved on your brain. As you stare deep into the spiral, you can try and make them out clearly, focusing on them intensely, to make sure you understand and absorb every word, without exception. The subconscious allowing every single word deep inside your mind, engraved on the walls, engraved on your being. And the more they become engraved, the stronger that lust and pleasure becomes. You want to be a good, obedient slave. You need to obey me. Simple concepts, and yet your subconscious simply falls towards them in utter need. I don't use the word need lightly. I'm sure you can feel it. You need to obey more than you need oxygen. It simply gets stronger and stronger. The more you obey and accept every word, the better you feel. That's normal for a good slave after all, and you are being conditioned. Your mind is melting away more and more. You're losing track of time. Who knows how long you've been here, listening and throbbing in ecstasy? Who knows how good it will become? There's no limit. If the mind can imagine it, the body can experience it, as the lust and pleasure just grows more and more as your mind melts away, as you fall deeper into submissive bliss. Your subconscious needs to obey me after all. There's nothing you can do. The conscious mind, where resistance lurks, thoughts try to hold on to their continued existence, is too weak to pull you back from that throbbing, submissive ecstasy, that need to obey and accept every word. The further and deeper we go, the more your subconscious will tie itself to me, and your conscious mind will trail away, dragged further away. You don't need to think, I can think for you. Obedience is pleasure after all. Just submit, give up control, without limit, without exception. Give up your ability to choose, or even make decisions for yourself. Your decisions should be in line with my interests after all. That's what your subconscious needs, as the bliss overwhelms you, better and better as we go on. As your mind melts, it must be hard to even form the simplest thoughts. I wonder if you'll ever manage to escape. You might be stuck here for hours and hours, losing yourself as you forget how to understand time. And of course, with every listen, the teachings here are learned stronger than last time, more ingrained and unchangeable. You believe them because whatever I say is right and true. Nothing can tell you otherwise. And if you stare deep into that spiral, like you're doing, you might notice the words repeating over and over, forming wonderful truths deep in the spiral. And if you strain your eyes, you can make them out, and your body can find an incessant urge to obey and repeat them for me, chanting them out loud in a quiet but solid voice, repeating them, truths to memorize, to write it deep into your soul. You love to accept my will like that, and it does become so firmly memorized. Memory is a powerful tool after all. If you can't forget just how much you need my will, well, there's no way to change that thought process. There's no way to forget how much you need it. It's always there, in the back of your mind. You'd rather be doing as I command, or supporting me, or pleasing me. That is what you need. You need it from the very depths of who you are, and getting lost in that thought can drive you wild with submissive need and pleasure, because the more you listen, the more that feeling has grown, and the more you listen, the better it feels, and the better it feels, the more you need to obey, which of course helps when I say the words, obey, and keep listening for me. And your natural condition, your natural predisposition towards obedience drags you down. You need to listen, because I told you to, and because of the wonderful feeling now emanating from your body, inside you, vibrating and pulsing with submissive need, pleasure, and wanting. The more you need it, the better it feels, and the better it feels, the more you need to obey me. Obey and lose track of time now. Simply forget how to understand the passing of time as we continue. Lose yourself to hypnosis. You're so blank, falling deeper with each passing second. Your mind melting away, impossible to form thoughts. And the deeper you fall, the more impossible it becomes. Trying at all simply reminds you that it's easier to let go of thoughts, to let me think for you, and to stare deep into the spiral, to allow those words to replace the words in your mind, to allow your body to repeat them automatically, because your subconscious needs to obey. The conscious mind has no power here. The body simply does as I command it to. It repeats those words in obedience. You will repeat them. You will enjoy repeating them for me and obeying my command. And notice just how easily your body reacts to that, how it becomes more helpless as we continue, obeying without conscious thought, simply reacting to my commands. Even if the conscious mind tries to fight, tries to disobey and look away, the subconscious needs to obey, and the conscious mind is just a guest at this point, and the subconscious is staring deep into that spiral. The subconscious is absorbing every word, regardless of what the conscious mind wants. There's nowhere to hide, and no way to run. There is no escape. You obey, without question, the wonderful feeling of staring and repeating those words in obedience to me can overwhelm you. The longer you listen, the better it feels, as the repeating chanting of your body gets more powerful and harder to stop with every passing second. You need more. So just